are live. All right. Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Look at
that.
See?
You can barely see the screen.
Hello, friends. Welcome to our day. I am so super excited. This is kind of like when I got to bring my mom, except it's like the best of the best, the Elli of the Care Bears.
Oh, there was a lot of pulling to get me to come.
Look at all those
But here I
hearts.
am.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. He's on again.
We're just gonna beam at you for a minute
Hi.
while everyone settles in. I just want to tell you all, I am
Istanbul.
so excited that you're all here with us today to meet my very special Elli Bear. This wonderful woman has been at my side for, like 8 years now.
Yeah.
I think we first met.
8 years will be this October.
Wow.
I know.
Wow, amazing.
I know.
And we just passed 7 years with her officially on our team. And there's just so much to share. We were just sitting outside while we had breakfast together. Elli flew in last night and it was just the best moment. She came into my house and Elli and I haven't seen each other in person in
2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Which is an incredibly long time by any measure. And Elli's not just a key component of who we are at May Lindstrom Skin, but she's also one of my dearest friends in the whole world. And
She has no choice. I stay with them from the first trip. Yeah, they really have no choice. I'm part of the family.
definitely
There
part
you
of the
go.
family. And she got to be with my babies last night. Our little one is 5, so last time Elli was here, he was 2.5, 3 years old. So it feels, it feels due. And if I'm going to bring someone on from our team to say hello to you, I just know so many of you have been welcomed into the incredibly warm arms of Elli and the team that she leads with so much heart. Our Care Bears are one of the most beautiful parts of what we do as a business, and I think one of the things that we're most known for, which I'm really proud of. And I see, the comments that are dropping. We've been built on service. We've been built on sharing love out into the world like a ripple. That's really what we try to do here anyway, as much as on the surface we look like a skincare company. I'm pretty sure all of you know that we're really a love company, and however we can bottle that up and let it be a catalyst in our worlds is the big mission. And
So with that, let's get the party started. What are we making today first?
Well, you and I.
Because I didn't want just a tea. I wanted something different.
Yeah, Ellie's like, we're doing this for real, right? There will be snacks and all of the things
Yeah,
that
and
make
I'm like,
this great.
I'm only a tea drinker at night before I go to bed. I'm like, do we have some sparkling water, some lime?
Yeah, so we are. So it's daytime and it's warm because we're in LA, and so we're not doing tea. We're just going to do some sparkly lemon water. If you're at home, make yourself something you like. Have a snack, have a pretty beverage, squeeze something that smells good.
I will take that.
Ooh, do you want mint?
Yes,
Excellent.
bring it on. We don't have any Aperol or Campari, so.
We're not just gonna drink snacks in front of you, but I asked for your questions yesterday, once I finally got the official yes from Elli that she would agree to showing up here with me. And most of you wanted to know about Elli's personal skin journey and about her time in the company and working with us and what it's been like to come on this journey as an independent family business. We've been built one person at a time, one small choice after another small choice after another small choice, every step of the way over the last decade, and Elli's been around for almost all of it, and so her perspective is valuable and special and rare. maybe you could tell them how we met.
Yeah, well, cheers to that.
Cheers, my love.
Okay, we met 8 years ago in Toronto. Okay, so let me give them a little bit of a history. I left my corporate world when 9 years ago, I walked away. I wanted something different, and I ended up working at a skincare boutique. And I was struggling. I have like different chapters that I'll share with you guys regarding my skincare journey, but the chapter in my 30s was all about healing my skin, and I had a lot of hormonal acne. And so in the store, we were selling May Lindstrom Skin, and I completely fell in love with it. The Blue Cocoon and the Problem Solver changed my skin, completely changed my skin. We have a before and after that we can share with everyone. And so we were hosting, oh yeah, actually, let's share that first.
How do we get to it? So this was Elli when she first started with us. I've never used this picture feature. Can you tell me if it's working?
Is it working, guys? This is our first time.
Great. We got some waves. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
lots of.
It was Husk, yes.
Yes.
And we know.
I love Husk.
The chocolate, the live on chocolates were sold there too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so I
love our small world.
Oh, I was using May's line, specifically 2 products that truly I began my journey with that healed my skin, which were the Problem Solver and the Blue Cocoon. And I would say I started in May, and in October, we were hosting May for an event. And I'm just gonna be very transparent. I cornered her, I wanted a job with her, and poor woman brought me on with no position out of Canada. Yeah.
Okay, but this was what year was this? This was 2014?
Yeah, 2014.
So this is 2014, and for perspective, we hired our first employee in 2014. So the company launched quietly in November of 2011. We launched with our first retail partner on August 31st of 2012, the day that my oldest child, our daughter, was born. She'll be 10 this summer, so it would have been a decade on retail shelves. And so those first few years of the business, it was just me in one of the bedrooms of our old house, just blending every batch, filling every batch. All of our ingredients would come in to the bedroom, and I was just a woman with a hobby. And it was a hobby that I'd done since childhood, and it was something that I had done bespoke for a number of people, but I had never made it my career. And so it was the language I spoke, it was the thing that I did, but I thought I was just being a romantic person with this idea. And so I was making these products, and I was working at that time. I was a chef for many years, I was a teacher for many years, but then I also worked as a model for a chapter and a makeup artist for a chapter. And while I was working as a makeup artist, this was all in the background, and I would bring these funny potions to set and massage them all over everybody. And I was just kind of the odd one with the funny kid, and I would paint on people with my potions. And eventually I decided to bottle them and do an experiment to see if there was actually other people who were as excited about this kind of powerful sensory magical experience, but that was also based in functionality. For so many years, all of my bespoke clients were people who came from severe skin conditions, extreme eczema, psoriasis, dermatitis. So I'd work one-on-one with those people, make them blends specific to them. And so I'd been doing that for a long time, but I didn't ever imagine that it would be in a package, on a shelf, in people's homes, like it is today. And so when I started bottling this, I had the idea that this would be something I would do like between my child's naps. It would build slowly in the background. And maybe when my child went off to kindergarten, it could see if it could become a real thing. And as we all found out, that's not what happened. When we launched right out of the gate, there was deep resonance in a way that I never could have expected. And it just took off and was incredibly exciting. And so I birthed our first child, and then I birthed this the launch of this business in this more outward way in the same moment. But those first couple of years, it was just me and my husband and now partner in the background, being a helpful husband and doing things like take packages.
He's the best, by the way.
He's
I'm not
amazing.
gonna lie.
He's got to
the
come
best
on here too. The best.
You need to have him here.
Oh, we will. Lots more talks to have.
Hi, Robert.
And so when Elli came on, it was the first year that we had hired anybody. In December of 2013, it was just my husband and I, and we had one family friend who would come by and work part-time hours and would help mix things and pick up some boxes and things, but it was very minimal. And then that year, we found both our first space, our first like studio production space in Chinatown in Los Angeles, and leased that out, which was ahead of schedule. I thought I was just looking, but then I fell in love and I took a leap, and that was terrifying and amazing. In that same month, just ran out of steam. I had a 14-month-old child at that point, and was just feeling just overwhelmed and at the end of my ability to handle all of this by myself. And so I posted here, actually, on Instagram. This was in January of 2014. And I think it was an image of squeezing the honey mud by hand into a jar, a little looking like a bakery, which is still what we look like. And I told all of you that we needed a helping hand. And we were little. This was 2014, and still the response was pretty incredible. And we had so many wonderful people apply, and in one day I took another big leap of faith, and along with the space I hired 3 women in one day and went from me, a one-man band, to a team of 4 overnight. And we moved into our first studio space that month, and it was that year that Elli joined the team as well. And so, just months before
I came for an internship.
There was nobody.
I did an internship first. Mm-hmm. I flew out here for 3 weeks because I really wanted you to say yes, and you said yes to an internship. So I went to
Toronto. We did the event at this former retailer's store. Had a great event. Hit it off. We sat next to each other at dinner after and just talked into the wee hours of the night. Completely connected. And then after, she asked if I would take her on for an internship, which we're not set up for, and generally we just don't do, and didn't at that time. But
I booked my ticket that night. I was like, this is going to be a go. I will just show up. And so, did that internship, came back, and then the store closed, and you ended up hiring me, bringing me on, not knowing what I was going to do. I did some photography, but we didn't need that at that time that much.
Yeah. Mostly she helped me write emails, and at the time, the entire company was still operating out of just like my personal Gmail account. And so my personal Gmail account,
your Gmail account,
which is where every email for the whole company came in, and we had no systems around really anything. And Elli would come in and help me organize my emails in the morning, which would be all of the spam mail, plus all of our customer service, plus anything related to shipping and regulations and ingredient orders. And I created this wonderful thing, but I needed the support to make it exist in a way that I was proud of and thrilled for, and that had all the heart. And
then we together built the care team.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you went on bed rest is when I literally had my little wings and I flew a little bit on my own.
Exactly.
Which was really nice.
So in 2016, we got a wonderful surprise in our family, and baby number 2 came to bless us. I became pregnant in January, and in June was put on bed rest for the final 4 months of my pregnancy. And so within a day of that big year, I went from having you and a couple people on our shipping team and a couple people in the lab, and then myself and my husband, to me going to a midwife appointment, barely being even showing, and being sent home and told to lay down and not stand up until September. And it was June, and they were literal. It was, no, don't stop for lunch on the way home. No, you cannot sit up and use your laptop. Full laying down on my left side for months. And that was really scary and really powerful, because overnight I couldn't even go and talk to the team and delegate and hand off anything. I just had to throw out my arms and trust that I would be held. And when I did, I was.
Right. And I was like, well, I get them to hire. So I hired 3 people in Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah, and brought them on. And we slowly developed our care team to what it is today.
And
Fast
then
forward.
when Elli moved from Canada to the US, she moved to Chicago and then added an additional team member there. And then we realized just how unimportant location is often for the work that we do. Very much a global company. And so we began to just look at the whole, who we are differently, right, and who we want to bring into the company, and what's it for of who we bring into the company. We were talking about what customer service is and what it means, and how we do things different, why we do things different, and even the knowledge that we bring in. I don't intentionally hire people necessarily because of some epic background in skincare. And
I didn't have any.
Yeah.
I had my own.
Really, really passionate about skin.
Very curious about skincare, and just because of my own personal journey. But then I just learned a lot along the way from you, and then my curiosity just led me to do more research and constantly seeking and yearning for having more information in my toolkit. Because I don't think we told them that. We're completely different. Completely different in our approach, in our views, how we view aging, our skin. But you know what? It's like the perfect fit. It works. Well, we work.
I think it's so important that people see different kinds of ways of being with their skin. And it's one of the reasons that I started doing these lives and having these conversations that, I don't know, every week I get a little scared because I come on here and I usually end up in the shower or in the bath, and I mean to tell you about, the ingredients and what they do for your skin, and I end up talking about feelings and all of the vulnerable human stuff, the stuff that hurts and the things that are challenging, and I don't know, it's the only thing that I really know how to do in this space, because actually what skincare is for me at this stage of my life, it's about the connection to myself. It's about taking this time for myself. It's about having these bookends in my day, because I'm losing my mind all the time. It's so full and it's so overwhelming, and I've got the chattery brain, and I've got anxiety, and I've got, the packed schedule and the responsibilities, and I try to carry the world on my shoulders. And it's in these moments where the only thing I'm thinking about is like the smell of the lime as I squeeze it, the sound when the lime hits the water and it bubbles and it fizzes and it bursts. Still, you can hear it, and it sounds just like when I do the clean dirt. And it feels like life in my body, and it does make my skin look and feel comfortable, and make me look and feel, it makes me feel and look the same. It takes how I want to feel and how I want to look, and it puts them in alignment. And it's not about even the skin being perfect or having all of the breakouts go away, or the redness go away, or the wrinkles go away, or any of it go away. It's about coming back so that I can feel that I exist in this body, because half the time I'm just flying out of it and leaving the room. And 10 years ago, I had a different goal with skin. 10 years ago, my goal with skin was, I was deep in my formulation studies and figuring out what I wanted to share, and it was all about efficacy. It was all about what plants can truly transform skin, what can really get the result. And I was studying all of the different chemical compounds, and I was understanding how they were working with different skin types and how all of those things affected everything. So it was all results. And I didn't care what it smelled like, and I didn't care what it felt like. And I didn't need that for myself in the same way. I needed results. And 10 years before that, my skin was falling off of my body. I was covered head to toe in rashes. I was burning, I was blistering, I was bleeding. I slept with socks pulled up to my shoulders every night so I wouldn't rip the skin off of myself in my sleep. And so these different chapters of skin, I don't know where my skin will be 10 years from now, or what skincare will mean for me 10 years from now. 10 years from now, it might be like, well, I wash my face and talk to God. I mean, who knows? So, I mean, I don't know what the evolution will be, but I know that right now that's the most powerful thing. And I know that watching us, there's people who are on all different parts of their journey who are coming to us because they have breakouts that won't stop, or because they have skin that's so painful that they can't touch.
In my teens and 20s were this area, it started, my teens and 20s were my forehead and my nose. My late 20s started like on the cheek area. My 30s, it was all chin, all hormonal. And I feel that in my 40s now, I feel like this is the healthiest I've been in my skin.
Yeah.
But I'm now starting to see another season of change with aging, however you want to call it. There's more dehydration, there's dryness, the entering menopause, there's the whole kind of cocktail that's coming along with it, and it changes season to season. In the winter, my skin is completely different than in the summertime, and the shift also brings the challenges. Winter to spring, I'm seeing dehydration, dryness, a bit of peeling, and redness. I battle mild rosacea. All through my life I battled the breakouts, but rosacea is stimulated by inflammation for me because I have 4 autoimmune conditions. And so I have to keep and utilize products at hand that could help me nourish my skin in a way that brings down that inflammation and brings my skin back to health. And so my entire goal has always been for my skin, especially entering my 40s, how do I keep the inflammation down? How do I keep the hotness? Now I'm experiencing hot flashes, and especially during the night. And so I'll wake up and it's super red and hot, and I feel like I can't breathe, and within minutes it goes down, but then I can hear that redness, the hot feeling of it. And so, I mean, I think we'll have, like when I enter my 50s, will be a different chapter. More challenges will come about, or a different experience that could be really beautiful. It's just the way we look at it. So, that's kind of my skin in a nutshell. And I've gone through, we were talking actually about it before, like just my journey in my 20s and 30s. I've been an advocate of facials, as you know. I'm a regular person that goes and does facials.
Can you talk about facials for 1 second? I need to grab something.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. I'll be right back.
I love treatments. So in conjunction with our collection and what I use from our current collection, I also do every 3 to 4 weeks, I go for a facial. I've used treatments like microcurrent, facial acupuncture, facial cupping, and I utilize a lot, especially in the winter time, lots of hydration and exfoliation when I really need to. I really feel my skin, and in the past actually couple of months I've been really working on my skin barrier, and so I'm utilizing a lot of products from our collection and outside of it that work together that can build my skin barrier. And so but let me just see what if you guys, I don't know how to work the IG stories because this is my first time ever on the internet, believe it or not. So we'll go with that. I'm gonna keep my glasses on so I can see if anybody is asking questions. Hi Stacy, thank you for being here. As I was sharing a little bit previously when I met May, and before I met her, I was using the collection. It really helped me to heal my skin, and that was when I was 35, 34 when I met you. 8 years ago, 44. Like, math is not my thing.
Mid-30s, yeah. I think you were 35 when I met you.
Yeah, and lots of hormonal changes. And once I got that under control, I started playing around with what works for me per season. And so I think that that's an important thing to touch on, because what you use in the summer or spring is very different than what we use in the winter time. And so even though if you had the collection, the range at hand at home, play around and mix the products together. See what feels really, really good. See how your skin actually feels in the morning.
Yeah.
That's actually, for me, the thing that is the most important. I touch my skin, I feel like, am I really dehydrated? There's a good enough hydration? Maybe I just need to mist my skin and put, who's at the door? He is so cute. Do I need a serum? Do I need a balm? Do I need a cream? What do I need for today? And so I asked myself that. With that, I was going to ask you what your morning ritual was for today.
Oh, today?
Yes.
Well, today, what did I do today? I woke up, I showered. Oh, you know what? I just did water because I wasn't sure if I would demo anything. And so I did so the very first thing, when I first wake up, I do just the Blue Cocoon immediately before getting out of bed. So I keep one of these next to the bed. I was actually telling Elli this because she was asking me. So we have different feelings about how we're approaching aging. And Elli wants all of the tools to very directly address that. And so she was asking how I take care of my eye area because she's trying all these different eye products. And I think that the single number one thing that I do for my eye area is when I wake up in the morning, before I do my actual morning ritual, I do just the Blue Cocoon, dry skin, under the eye, over the top, and then I make a circle. It's like figure eights almost. So I go around this side, and it's using enough so that you slip. It should slip, it shouldn't pull, it shouldn't tug, it shouldn't be aggressive at all. It's just, you're basically just getting this area wet with the Blue Cocoon. And then a little bit under the nostrils.
And you do this every morning?
Every morning.
Like when you're in bed? Or when you get up?
If I'm in bed or if I've already stood up, because I'm a human, sometimes I just stand up. So if I just stood up, it's on my bedside. So I'll usually, I'll either use the one at my bedside while I'm still at the bed or next to the bed, or I'll go into the bathroom because I'll use the bathroom, I'll wash my hands, and then I'll do it then. But that's just the first step, just that part.
Okay.
And then the Jasmine Garden.
So you do this right after that?
Yeah.
First thing when you wake up?
First thing, that's it. So it's just sweep, sweep, dot, dot, sweep, little on the chest because it feels really good. Just trust me on that, try it, it changes everything. Plus your chest and neck loves it. And then a few mists of the Jasmine Garden. It's like this nice, beautiful reset, but it's not a full thing. And if you have really sensitive skin, really dry skin, if you have active inflammation, active breakouts, if washing your face in the morning feels too much, even splashing with water can sometimes feel too much for some people. Sometimes just adding more water is too much. This is the way to go. Wake up, leave it all alone. As long as you've had a cleanse the night before, this can be great for you. So it's just the Blue Cocoon, the Jasmine Garden. However, most of the time after that, I keep going about my day.
Pause.
Yes.
Okay, so when I wake up, I feel my skin. I usually do the Jasmine Garden, and if I'm super dehydrated, I go for a cream.
Before you wash, or
before I wash?
Oh, so
yeah.
you do 2 morning rituals too?
Yeah. So I either do the Jasmine Garden, and my skin feels really good. I pat it as soon as I come out of the bed. I pat it, and I'm like, okay, it's feeling really good. Before I make my way to the kitchen, I either mist with the Jasmine Garden, or if I'm feeling I'm a little bit tight, I know that I need hydration, I will reach for a rich cream, and I will basking. I will literally put the cream, a thick layer of cream on my skin. I make my way to the kitchen.
Like, so you can see it? Like a cream?
So you can
like
see it.
Okay.
Yes.
All
okay,
right.
I make myself to the kitchen, make my way to the kitchen. And then lately, I started drinking a liter of water. This was this morning, liter of water. I chug it. And then I made myself today the May thing. It was the hot water with the salt, with the lemon. It was 5 o'clock in the morning when I woke up. And so I had that, and then I have my coffee. This is even before I go into the bathroom to actually wash my skin and prep for the day. So you go now. You,
Well,
you
at
share.
an overachiever, because that started at like 5 a.m.
That's my usual time when I wake up. I'm an early bird.
Okay, so when I wake up, I just do that simple 2-step Blue Cocoon Jasmine Garden thing. And then usually I go from right from there into, if I am able to do some movement in the morning, that's my favorite thing. And the last 3 years, I'd say, I've really, really prioritized that. I have little kids, so, I leave a lot of room, a lot of grace for myself with schedule and time, or at least I try to. Honestly, it's the thing I'm the most hard on myself about is time. So where things fit in and how they fit in shifts around. But in an ideal world, I wake up, I do that quick reset, and then I hit the mat. And on the mat, I am either doing yoga, or I'm doing some stretching, or I'm just rolling around in happy baby, or maybe I'm just, thumping my body, or I just picked up all these tools over the years. So it might be tapping, or it might be shaking, or it might be, breathing or meditation. I've been doing this incredible new breath work with a new friend at Guided by Biette. You're going to see her show up in some things. And so I'm trying to find the people in the world who it feels like are resonating with the things that are resonating with me, so I can learn from them. And as I learn from them, I fill myself up with more and more delicious things that I get to share with all of you. So the mornings are, what are the delicious things I can fill myself with that I can then go ripple that good feeling out into the world? And so it's the moving, it's the breath, it's all of that. I find that time for myself before I go downstairs and enter the space with my family, the space with my children, with my husband,
Beautiful.
with all of the needs of the day. Because once I've left the bedroom, it's on. My Slacks start going off, my text messages start going off, my emails get all of my attention. And I do have children, and luckily, the most amazingly supportive, incredible husband on the planet, who's not only business partner, but the dad. And incredible family support here. But
so you do
I have
all
a
of
very
that
little
before.
part. So the kids go off, they go, and once the house is empty again, then I go back and I'll have a real shower.
Got it.
And so to go into a real shower, which I didn't fully do today because I wasn't sure what I was going to use on my skin. Some of these lives I've made the mistake of doing my full practice for myself that's based on actually touching my skin and going, what do I need today? And then, I make a choice that's beautiful and resonant based on that. And then I'll get on here and I'll try and demonstrate Clean Dirt 3 times in a row, and then follow it with the pendulum potion, and to follow it with and some days that works and some days it doesn't. So sensitive me has to remember to time things. So today, I just, when I went back into the shower, instead of doing what normally today might have been a Clean Dirt day, or maybe even a morning problem solver day would have been appropriate. And also, how can I tell? So if I was looking at my skin today or feeling my skin today, I would know I've got a little bit of redness around my nose and mouth, but not too much and nothing that active. But it's not the kind of thing that's going to benefit from the physical exfoliation of the Clean Dirt, where if this was dry and flaky or a little bit congested, that would be exactly what I'd want. And I love the Clean Dirt in the morning, so it tends to be my go-to. But it's also not just a morning where I want the plump and the glow and the freshness of the honey mud. It's a morning where actually what I want is to calm down this redness and give it some power at the same time, and that's the problem solver. So this redness and this little bit of bumpiness, this little bit of irritation feels like stuff in the air. It's been really windy here. The seasons are changing. Yeah, the wind has been nuts. So there's all kinds of things blowing around, and it's just giving me a little bit of redness and irritation. It's nothing major.
So
it's not a big deal.
Where do you put the problem solver?
I would do the whole thing.
Oh, the whole thing.
So you could spot treat with it, but in general, I like to do it everywhere, because if you're just putting the problem solver over a spot, whether it be a pimple or whether it be a rashy area or red area, you're getting the benefit of those topical compounds.
Got it.
But when you completely envelop your skin and you layer it on nice and thick so it kind of builds, then it concentrates the blood flow in such a way you can feel it. You can feel that your whole face and neck is kind of cocooned in it, and it has a different impact. So you can spot treat and get that little area, or you can also involve the blood in your whole body's
For me, this is my
system.
holy grail for the morning time to bring down my inflammation and redness. I don't know what it is about it. I absolutely love it, and I right away feel
the jasmine garden.
the jasmine garden. Sorry, guys. I'm like, it's right here below.
She's hiding it from you.
Mine. All right, so we do things the opposite, because once I've had my coffee and I've showered, that's when I actually do my skincare ritual. And mine is a little bit lavish because I layer things.
Well, mine doesn't end at the problem solver.
Oh no,
that was
no,
just
obvious.
which would I choose.
Oh, so okay, so let's. Sorry, I always talk over her. What are we?
Oh, that's okay. We're layering.
Okay, so you do the problem solver, and then you move into.
Right, so if I wasn't filming today with the chance that I would demo something, which also I might not, and so I will problem solver after this if we don't do it on here. But by feeling my skin, I would know this is a problem solver day for me. What I don't know yet, and I haven't decided yet, it might be a problem solver mixed with honey mud day. And I'll know that once I can clean my hands and touch my skin and feel if it could use some additional moisture and another layer of exfoliation with the salicylic acid. That can be really, really yummy. I think because of the redness, I'm gonna stick with just problem solver today. But I will feel that out as I go. But that's how I think about it. So I would either do the problem solver or the problem solver blended with the honey mud. And then I would go into the shower, turn into the shower, rinse it all off using fingertips. After everything is rinsed, keep going, get all of the dead skin off, rinse one final time. And then because of the redness, I would focus on the blue cocoon first. And even though I'd be using the Youth Dew too, I always go in with whatever feels the most like medicine for that purpose. And when I say medicine, I'm not talking medical, I'm talking if I'm feeling more red, more irritated, more pain, more that direction, I will go more towards the blue cocoon. If it's feeling more congested, or if I'm focusing more on lines, or I want the benefit from the antioxidants, then I'm gonna go more Youth Dew first. So because I'm more primarily leading with a little bit of bumpiness and redness today, I'd go in with the blue cocoon first. So that would be problem solver, rinse, blue cocoon into the wet, massage that in really good. Follow with a few pumps of the Youth Dew, that right over the top, focusing then on the areas that it benefits the most. That's this deep line down the center of my forehead, opening that up. That's opening up the cheeks, that's neck. I mean, really put it everywhere. Youth Dew eye area, spending some nice time there, feels really good. Finish with the jasmine garden, press it all in, and then I'm done. In the shower though, of course, before exiting the shower, do all the face stuff. Primary, turn off the faucet, soaking wet body, happy galaxy. And I would do several pumps of that head to toe. Just a pump right now because it's so good. Smell. So that too, always. Oh, and the happy galaxy also in the morning, I've added that into my simple wake up. So that wake up now with the blue cocoon and the jasmine garden mist, one pump or even just half a pump, just a little bit of the happy galaxy massaged into chest or the bottoms of the feet, so or the palms, especially if you are going to do some kind of movement or some kind of yoga or some kind of breath work or just breathing, stretching, roll around, chasing your child, making out with your partner, whatever you've got going for you, add a little bit of smell to it. It's like adding lemon to your water. It's like, you could drink water, but doesn't it feel different when it smells magical and it feels like you cared?
That's a really beautiful ritual you got going on. I do things differently. That's when we're different. So I go and take my shower. I love the Happy Galaxy right in the shower.
I'm sorry. 1 second.
I love the Happy Galaxy right in the shower. And then I do my skincare ritual at the sink. Different than May. She does it mostly in the shower. I just really love being in front of my vanity and looking in the mirror. Is that weird? I'm sure I'm not the only one out there. So should I share my skincare ritual on any given day? Because I work in care, I also test a lot of products on the market, and I'm just really curious, what are the best products that also work really well in conjunction with our collection? And so my typical morning for me would be, I always cleanse my skin. If I'm not using the honey mud, I use a cream cleanser. Then I tone, and then I mist with the Jasmine Garden, because I really do think that is the best mist on the market. I'm obsessed with it. And then after I mist, I go into a hyaluronic acid or some sort of essence. I love layering the lighter, watery products before. And then I feel what my skin needs. Sometimes I do a vitamin C with some Youth Dew to double it up before I actually put my sunscreen on, my SPF. Other times I use a cream. Other times I use the Blue Cocoon. And I always follow up with an SPF. And I think that's pretty much what my skincare routine for the morning is. Once I'm done all of that, I have a little vanity that I've built for myself at home, and I love to go and put on my makeup. And so I put on my makeup, and then I go for a walk. Once I've gone for a walk, that's my meditation. You know how you do yoga? I go for a walk, an hour and a half. I come back and then I start work. That's really my morning routine, all in a nutshell. Oh, sorry. I don't start work on an empty stomach. I come back and I actually have breakfast. Today we had breakfast together, which was really, really beautiful.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me about SPF. The last person just asked if we'll ever make one. Yes. I have made one, but I haven't started sending it through testing. And the testing process alone is a couple-year process. So I have one that I use, which is just mean. It takes away some of the urgency. But it is something that I'm very interested in. I'm also learning about all the different kinds of filters outside of the ones that I know. And so when it's time for us to make an SPF, I really just want it to be the best one possible. But I also know that sometimes perfect is the enemy of good. And there's a lot of good that I can make with what I know now and what we have to offer now. And so I'm looking forward to moving forward the process of what I use for my personal use, at least finding a way to complete that formula and make that available is, because we can always do better. We can always make it better. And, you know, it's funny because I will sometimes have a hesitation about trying because I want something to be so phenomenal. But then I think about everything that we do now, like the Blue Cocoon, for example. The Blue Cocoon has been a star from day one. It's been our #1 seller since it launched.
It is because there's multiple million reasons for that.
There is, and those reasons get better.
Right.
So what's cool is that even though the formula for the Blue Cocoon hasn't changed since inception, our access to ingredients, our vendors have changed, our equipment has changed, our processes have changed, all of our ways in which we're able to ensure not just that the ingredients are even what they say they are, because even that is its own whole thing. Sourcing is like the most complicated and challenging thing, and then verifying your sources and testing everything, and then not only is it authentically what it says that it is, but it's also fresh. It was harvested and processed and manufactured in a way that actually works for you. And then when it gets to us, that we mix it properly and we store it properly, and that it's maintains its vitality, and all of those things. Sorry. Lots of distractions, but there's so much that goes into it, and the point being that even the Blue Cocoon being something that I couldn't have made it any better when it started. It's better today because what we do every day is show up and do a better job than the day before. And whether that's in terms of what we're sourcing, how we're mixing things, how we're taking care of people.
I wish I knew how to work your questions. I think the SPF. I would love to. There were some questions, May, around SPF. What is your favorite outside of SPF that you may want to recommend?
Well, so we use the one that I've made, but when we go to the beach or on vacation, like we were just out of town and we were in the sun and on the beach, and so for that we brought Super Goop. It comes in a big container, and it's got a pump, and it works, and it worked for my kids' schools, and so we've gotten used to that.
That's the one I'm actually using right now too, Super Goop, but I use the one that has a primer in it. Other ones that I love, I like the Elta MD, and I actually like the Elta MD, the tinted one. But I tend to buy 2 SPFs, one that is not tinted, and then one that is tinted from the same brand. And reason why is because with the tinted one, I always feel like I'm not putting enough. And so if I double up with the non-tinted, and then I put the tinted one, I feel better that I'm actually putting a decent amount of SPF on my skin. But the Elta MD, I have to say, is probably my favorite. Super Goop is also really good. Which other one? My favorite is the Elta MD.
Yeah, a lot of people like that.
I find that it goes on really well, but I was just sharing that I double up. I buy a non-tinted version and a tinted version so that I'm getting enough on my skin when I'm actually putting the SPF. So.
Because you have to use a lot more than people think
Right.
when you use it for protection.
Right.
Yeah.
How do we work the questions so that we can answer them?
Okay, so these were the ones that people submitted, but we're pretty much going to talk about that. Well, they're asking questions about the SPF. So are those mineral or chemical?
I believe Super Goop makes both.
They make both versions. We've tried
and I
a number
believe
of
Elta
them.
MD does the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on it.
I think with sunscreen, it's just important that you find what works for you. And what works for you is different for every person. Because for me, I can't use most of the synthetic ones. Not because I don't want to for some big moral reason. It's because I am too sensitive. I get rashes and blisters, and that is not better for me. When I'm putting sunscreen into rashes and blisters, that's not actually better for the health of my skin. So I have to be very, very particular and careful about it for me. And so I also have the benefit of being a formulator.
Right.
And I have access to testing, and I have access to the lab, and I have access to
making the best
I have
things.
that. I can't recommend that for anybody.
Right.
Nobody else is in my shoes. So for everyone else, my family included, I have 2 small children and a husband, all 3 of whom are super fair. They're very fair and very freckled. And so it's something that I do pay a lot of attention to for them. My husband loves Neutrogena. He's been using it for the whole time he's known me. That works for him because he'll use it and he won't get sunburned. That's what it means for him. For me, I use it, my face turns all red. It would be better for me to wear a hat and stay in the shade and wear nothing than for me to wear something that gives me an active burning rash. Different. For him, he'll get the active burning rash if he goes in the sun. That doesn't happen for me. So,
Right.
And for my kids, they seem to do just fine with sunscreen. And so I put it on them. When my parents put sunscreen on me, I'd get blistering, burning rashes. So I operate and formulate from the place of someone with extreme sensitivities. I'm not that person anymore. I can wear sunscreen on a vacation, synthetic, conventional,
Right.
tinted, non-tinted, fancy drugstore. I can wear almost anything for a day now. If I use it continually, it's generally problematic. I use something for a couple days, it makes my skin freak out a little bit. I know what to do. Problem solver. But in general, my daily needs are different than your daily needs, are different than your daily needs. And what we all can do is leave a little bit of grace.
An experiment. I mean, I've experimented a lot with a lot of things on the market until I found a collection of products, a collection of items that I can add to my toolkit, that I can actually tap into anytime I need something.
Yeah.
It reminded me when you were saying like your the blisters, that time that I went to Paris, that I was hospitalized because I was just, it started from like the top of the head and it moved all the way down all through my body. And I remember we were actually in London and I was going to Paris, and they had sent from our studio collections so that we can give collections to press for you. And I had opened up all the collections and took all of the blue cocoons, and I based myself in the blue cocoon for days. I went through jar after jar after jar until
horrible.
it was, I thought it was dying. It was really, really horrible, but it healed. It healed that blistering rash that I had all over my skin. Yeah. So I feel your pain.
Yeah.
I could totally relate to that when it comes to, skin. But yeah, on a typical day, we're both completely different. How we begin our day, how we end our day, the type of things that we like, which makes us unique, just like you. What else?
Yeah. Do you want to see
I really just want to make sure that we answer everything.
All right, all of you bear with us. We're going to go back to the
But
beginning and see if there's
I think in
anything
another
that we-
live, someone suggested that there's a section for...
There is. That question box, though, is all the ones that they put in when we put up the thing. Everything else here is just comments. So if any of you do have questions, drop them in. When we get to the end, we'll get to the rest. Just want to be sure that nothing...
We miss it. We don't want to miss anything,
You all come
especially
here
for my
live,
first
and it
live.
means so much.
You know, I want to make sure that we answer everything.
All of our friends. Can you tell another story?
I
Do you want
love.
to talk about the Care Bears?
Oh, I mean, shout out to my Care Bears. I just absolutely love them. They're the best. I'm sure that you all have had at some time some sort of interaction with them, and they're just wonderful human beings. I actually was talking to Tina last week, which is one of the Care Bears on our team, and we were talking about how intimate our team is and how much we share of each other so that we can bring ourselves fully and be fully engaged in the conversation with our clients, because it's beyond skincare. Someone emailing in, they're asking questions or sharing information that's more intimate. And so I want to honor that, and we all want to honor that. And we have these meetings and we share very intimate details about our lives, about our skin, about the things that we love most, what brings us joy in life, what our challenges are, so that when I show up in an email and I'm replying back to our client, to the person on the other end that's reading my story, I want it to be very authentic. And so we have these meetings on a weekly basis where we start off our meeting and we always say, are you a green, a yellow, or a red? Where are we today? How do we feel? And it's a safe environment and a safe area where you can share if you're a yellow or a red, what's making you feel that way. And then we just dive deeper. I'm an oversharer, so I tend to overshare everything about my life because I really just want my team and our clients to have the best of me and all of me. That comes with the ups and downs. I'm trying to fit my really...
Oh, my husband popped in and said, I actually prefer the Super Goop over the old school Neutrogena stuff.
Oh, I love that, Robert.
Yay. Love to see an SPF be artisanal. Shea butter and zinc powder someone uses. That's tricky. Be careful with that. Make sure you're testing in safe exposure.
Yes, I can't wait for us to have our SPF.
People asking about the cleansing cloths. I know who I want to make them. And I've approved the samples that I love. And what we're making sure of before we make promises to you is that we can keep our promise when we make it. So this is a really small maker, and these cloths are really beautiful and special. They're expensive. They take a long time. They're a little tedious. I love them so much. If we bring them to you, I think you'll love them too. But I don't have timing for you yet. I'm hoping this year. I said that last year. I know. Time. Okay, that one too. May, have you made a video about doing a facial massage? I want to start incorporating a facial massage into my routine.
Me too.
Yes,
Me too.
Literally every video I've ever done except this one, I'm doing a face massage. But for all of you who maybe are just popping into these videos and haven't watched very many of them, if you go to the video tab on our Instagram at maylindstrom.com, go to the video tab, there's a section that says something like how May uses the collection. It's a name like that. And inside there will be a deep dive live for every single item in our collection. Every product gets a full hour at least, and it's all of the questions that were asked over and over and over, gone into deeply, as well as very intimate, hands-on, often in the shower, in the bathtub type explorations on my own skin, sharing of my personal practices, as well as a number of videos that are just face massage as well. So check out the video tab. It's kind of like having me in your pocket all the time. So please do go and do that. I think it makes the biggest difference. If I could show up and just be in all of your showers, that would be wonderful and weird, and I'm going to do some version of that with you somehow, someday. If you got my newsletter today, you might know what I'm talking about. And if you didn't get my newsletter today, get on that. More fun ones are coming.
Keep getting good. You need to sign up.
Well, yeah. Go to maylindstrom.com, newsletter tab, join us. Those were the questions, unless I missed any while this came. I had a burn from a debacle with an immersion blender and scalding soup. Blue Cocoon was the best ever. Absolutely.
Tell me about it.
Also, if any of you have made the Jasmine Garden treatment cubes, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the Jasmine Garden Deep Dive Live. I show you how to make frozen treatment cubes out of the Jasmine Garden. They turn into these glorious golden ice balls, and you massage them, melt them over face following exfoliation and masking. Especially wonderful after the warming spices in the Clean Dirt and the Problem Solver. So good. But over any kind of burns or scars or damage, if you're able to use cold, the Jasmine Garden and the frozen with the Blue Cocoon is really, really incredible. I want to say all of your products can make them last for months. May, do you use gua sha? Here's my feelings on that, and I've talked about this a little bit. I feel like we've never had a live where I wasn't asked about gua sha, which I actually think is really cool because it means that you're all getting interested in more and more self-massage, and I love that. So the gist of my answer is I don't care one way or another about gua sha. I think that it's a beautiful practice. I think that it's fantastic. I'm definitely not an expert. I have some gua sha tools. I like them. I like them largely because I like to either heat them or cool them and play with temperature and sensation. That tends to be my favorite part. Also, using temperature and sensation to loosen up muscles and to just explore different pain areas or inflammation. In terms of actual massage, hands, over and over and over. I will just shout that because your hands are equipped with so much. Your fingertips can detect the teeniest tiny little changes in texture and sensation and temperature and everything else. When you run your fingertips over your face, it's just streaming information through you. And when you tune into that, not only does it feel like the most delicious thing in the whole world, it also tells you everything you need to know about what to reach for. It tells you if there's texture there to lean into and grab for the clean dirt. It tells you if those little bumps and that bit of sensitivity could use a day off or could use the problem solver. It tells you if that oil that's on your skin is the result of your own plumpness and hydration and, you know, health and radiance that you can feel in your fingertips, or if it's dead, dry, congested skin that's just ready to be shed and has this like sea of excess oil under it. Your fingertips are what tell you that. And so I miss no opportunity to put my fingers on my skin and let that be where I explore from. And then besides that, our fingers are so perfectly shaped to get into all of our little curves and all of our little crevices and to change pressure exactly where you need it so you can move between really, really light, soft touch and deeper intramuscular touch. I think that there's just so much room for play with that. If you like the tools and if it gets you to touch your face where previously you would just wash and slap on product and move on, go for it. Use all of the tools. Use the fancy ones, use the ones you plug in, use the ones that vibrate, use the ones that heat up, use the ones that have lights. Use whatever you like that will get you back to here, because eventually if you show up here every day over and over and over using whatever product you want to use, using whatever tools you want to use, if you're just using water and your hands and nothing else, great. If you're using all the lights and all the gadgets and all the buzzers and all the, you know, the retinols and you're doing all of the stuff, great.
Right.
Because the point is to show up here and be in relationship with your skin.
Right.
Your skin. And if we have tools for you, fantastic. And if your tools come from somewhere else, fantastic. Like, we all can add things into these glorious toolboxes of our life and share with each other.
I was going to ask, when do you find yourself doing the massage? Like, for example, I love to give myself a massage, especially on my jawline, because I clench at night. When I'm cleansing at night, because that's the time when I'm actually taking off my makeup too. And I really spend a good 5 minutes massaging this area especially.
Okay.
So when do you find that is the best time for you to give yourself a massage?
Okay, so
all day long?
Here we go. Yes. And specifically this morning. So this morning, I told you I wasn't doing anything on the exterior of my skin because I wasn't sure in this live if I would end up demoing the clean dirt or the problem solver or something that I'd want to be the only thing. And so I just in the shower did water massage followed with the blue cocoon and the youth dew in the jasmine garden. So I just got really nice water massage followed with all my oils. So everything felt really good and I knew I'd be prepped in case I needed to do anything else, but also if I do nothing today, I'm great. And I can follow with the problem solver after this because that sounds like a good move. Join me. But this morning, because I wasn't doing anything extra on the outside, the way that I slept, and also just this week in general, I've been clamping down my teeth. It's like this. And sometimes that happens and I'm generating a lot of ideas. I think it's a way of kind of keeping them to myself for a minute while they're doing their magic. And so I was clenching my teeth and I was keeping things locked. And so when I was in the shower this morning, I actually did internal massage in my mouth, which I learned from my mom, and I also learned through just working with a number of practitioners who do internal buccal massage.
Right in.
Yeah, and so I'm not going to demo it right now because I'm not clean, but you asked when is my favorite time to do it, and my favorite time is actually in the shower. Because when I do the massage inside my mouth, I'm drooling all over myself for one. It's it's not cute. It's kind of messy. You're going to get saliva all over your hands and your face and everything else. And I don't want the saliva over my face because that can be irritating and can kind of make things itchy and red too. But in the shower, so you cleanse and everything's all good. Your hands obviously super, super clean. If you want, you can use gloves. Some people do. I don't for myself. So super, super clean. And then I'll demo this at some point in a video. I'm not going to do it ad lib here, but you can put you just you just put your thumb against the inside of your cheek and breathe and move it around, and it feels really good. You just push against that inside wall. And
I need to do that because I've only done it on the outside.
Yeah, the inside is actually a lot more effective. When I was a child, I ground my teeth really bad, and my mom, who some of you met on a live, you can meet her on a live in the replays if you go to the video tab, would work on my mouth. So since I was a child, my mom would do internal work on my mouth. And there's a spot where your jaw connects. There's a space between there that you can actually put your thumb in that spot, and press, and you'll feel it. And if you breathe and soften, you can allow that part to open up, allow your jaw to drop. And so I will just do that in the shower on a regular basis, probably once a week, but you can do it every day if you wanted to. So for me, it's more about, am I willing to put my hands in my mouth and get slobber all over myself? If yes, great. But I also find that it really, really helps. And you can also use it to internally massage these wrinkles that form. So I know that's interesting to you. But the same way that you can massage and open up this area where these wrinkles start to fall, you can do it from the inside as well and make it feel really good. But I like doing that work from the inside, especially when my face is feeling tense. So it's less about aesthetics, although it tends to show up that way. Because when I'm tense, this line gets really strong. These ones show up more. I tend to get more dehydrated. I skip all the other things. Nutrition goes out the window, so I see that. And so when I'm doing, what happens is you just start to notice. When this line gets hard, when these wrinkles show up, when this jaw gets tense, I know that I am missing my own care on a number of levels. And so what do? You pause, you reset, you go to your sink, you go to your mat, you go for a walk, you show up in whatever way you can for yourself.
Yep. I'm gonna try the inside of the mouth. Like I said, I've always just done it around the neck area and around the jaw, because when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed, I can tell that I've clenched through the night. So when I wake up, it's super tense, and then I tend to massage at night when I apply my cleanser.
Yeah.
I really just work my cleanser in. That's the part that I'm loving the most.
It's just so many hours
in between.
And so if you can wake up and very first thing, that's why those little reset rituals, that little mist with the jasmine garden or whatever it is, it's like all that really does, here's what it is. It's not skincare. It's buying time. It's taking yourself from that magic space that happens when you first wake up in the morning and you're still all soft. And it's giving yourself a little bit more time there before you go into the care of the rest of the world and all of the responsibilities. And while you're in that space, you're doing just the little things that keep you there in a moment that feels good. And then you come into this space and this presence, and in those moments, you're feeding your senses, which is starting to turn on all the different things. You're starting to fire in all cylinders. We're not given all of these senses if we're not supposed to use them for something. And so you're turning that on. And as you're doing that, you're noticing what you need. You're noticing if you're dry. You're noticing if you're oily. You're noticing if you're stressed. You're noticing if you're tired. Do I want something to zip me up? Do I need to take a shower and do some shaking and do the clean dirt and get all wiggly? Or do I need to maybe crawl back in bed and lay down with the blue cocoon and massage my chest?
Right.
Maybe I need a little bit of the pendulum potion between my palms and pressed into my feet.
I think you said something really profound for me, because if I wake up and I still have the clench jawline, then I'm walking around going all day. And I'm doing this at night, where I should really be doing it part of,
You're a communicator for your job, and you're walking around with a clenched jaw.
Right. And it's not every day. It's just in those moments where life gets too much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shift it up.
Ooh. All right. Well,
this has been so much fun. Should we do this again together? No, I'm like, so when do you want me to come by next?
Yay!
And with May?
Okay, hearts for Elli. Show Elli some love. She was so scared to come on, and now,
This is my first appearance ever on television, I was going to say, but on the intranet.
Oh, wish I was there to give you a big hug. The female energy in that room is so beautiful. You're the best, my loves. I'm getting over COVID and all the products have been so good for helping my skin recover. Feel better. Man, COVID really was a mess for my skin too. It went crazy. So I feel that. Also, if that's happening for you, the whole cycle of that we can walk you through. But if you send us an email, care@maylindstrom.com, whether you're sick from COVID or anything else, or immune compromised, or just having a moment, we've got you. I mean, this is the thing that we love more than anything else. Having you here to be entrusted with your care. We say it all the time. It's the greatest honor and the greatest pleasure. You're our world. It's oh, a newly diabetic, and it came as a surprise. I feel it in my skin, which is odd. Slathered the blue cocoon on, trying to learn. Keep coming back. Visit the old videos. There's lots in there for you, and definitely email us. We will hold you. We will walk beside you. We've got lots of advice. Some of it's good, some of it's useful, some of it's probably bad, some of it's probably not useful. We do our best. We deeply care. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, guys, and welcoming me.
And for all of you who just arrived, don't worry. We will save this as long as the recording gods are with us. We'll drop it up there. And for all of you who did participate and leave comments and engage, please come back when I drop this video so that all of your gifts and all of your time here with us can continue to ripple out to all of those in our community. We're just gonna have more and more opportunity for
I want to read everything, so come back.
That too. We do not see everything that flies by us on these. So if you leave your comment or your question, or if you had a question that we didn't get to, drop it on here after, and we'll follow up with you. We can only follow up with you if you allow us to do so. So thank you.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see
I
you
love
soon.
you.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.